Welcome back, all. Alright, so we're going to get some shock arrows. We're going to do a little bit of treasure hunting and croc seed hunting. I'm going to go ahead and pin a couple of locations on the map here for you, because this is where we'll ultimately be flying down to and ending up. That tree, I believe. So, red mark first, which is out this direction. There's going to be some floating treasure chests out here in the lake, so, you know, as always, we're going to keep our eye out for those stamina fish while we're doing all this. Might as well get the croc seeds while we're here. Once we get 10 shock arrows, we're going to go horse hunting. We're going to go get that 5-star speedster horse, and getting out to the rainforest will be really, really fast. That 5-star speedster horse, folks, trust me, fastest transportation in the game. Aside from flying, that is. I think flying really does get you where you're going fastest, but as far as ground transportation goes, absolutely 5-star speedster horse, it can't be beat. Some people will say, oh, Lord of the Mountain, that's fastest. Nope. I timed it. Absolutely not faster. Some people will say the motorcycle is faster. Absolutely not. Once again, I timed it. It's close. The motorcycle is close, but it's not quite as fast. Oh no, what did I do that for? I'm a genius. Lucky for me, that club floats. Okay, so the fishing harpoon isn't a bad spear. It's relatively durable. First of 5 shock arrows. If you think you might accidentally plop down and go underwater of the ice block, just shoot out to the side of it. That way you can avoid breaking it up, having to swim back and do it all over again. Programmers, I gotta tell you, that feature is super annoying in this game. You know, Link ends up under other objects underwater, like rafts, for instance. Nothing happens, so I just don't understand why the ice block has to break. That's just me. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. So typical puzzle block croc configuration here. Alrighty, go ahead and... Oops, don't need that pin anymore. Quick warp back up top side. So I want to say there's 5 or 10, I can't remember now how many more shock arrows are out here. I think just 5 more. But still, 10 are going to be more than enough to do what we're going to do. For horse hunting, we're going to need lots and lots of stamina. So we might actually go do another quick cooking session before we go get our actual horse. Because when you catch a horse, you have to use stamina to tame it. Otherwise, you'll get bucked off of it if you run out. Okay, so I'd like to make landfall right here where I put that pin. This little sandy shoreline spot here is another croc seed. Okay, got some more floating treasure. Okay, that's actually a pretty good two-handed weapon there. We're gonna get better, so for now I'll hold on to it, I guess. That was attack power at 25. We're going to be coming across royal weapons out in the rainforest. Attack power 52. Can't beat it. Okay, so there's our shock arrows. We're going to continue on the contour of the lake here, just like before. I want to say there's some sunken treasure out here as well. I can't really remember, to be honest. Maybe it's just the floating. Oh goody, more stamina. Okay, so let's go ahead and mark this spot. Don't need the pin anymore. Whoopsie. Ah, nuts. Pretty good shield there. Heck of a lot better than that. You always want to keep at least one wooden shield in your inventory in case you get caught in a thunderstorm. You're still going to want to have a shield. And since I do see some stamina out here, I will swim out for the droppings of that Octorok. Okay, so that tree does house another Korok seed. This is one we haven't seen yet. And this is one that you can actually pick up with a yellow rune. It's a husk, like an acorn husk or something. I don't know exactly what it is, but either way, that yellow rune will help you to see those when you're in the thick of a forest and trees are camouflaging everything. Alright, folks. So that's the lake for now. Let's go ahead and warp back to the Great Plateau. We're going to go ahead and come to the Stasis Shrine, because there's a cooking pot right down there at the old man's house we're going to cook at real quick. And then that's also where we're going to launch to go get our horse hunting done. 5-star speedster horse, baby. Can't beat it. Alright, so quick flight down to the old man's house for a cooking pot. And I don't think the fire is going to be lit for us anymore, so we're going to have to light it with our own fire arrow. You can use a piece of flint and a metal weapon, but I don't recommend doing that because it just puts wear and tear on your metal weapons. And I think I mentioned before, but they're going to give you more than enough fire arrows throughout this game, so you might as well use them to light fires. Alright, folks. One fish at a time, since we only have one stamina wheel right now. Well, one and change, but one fish at a time. And you're going to want to cook up probably everything you got, although for the sake of time, I'm probably only going to cook up what I need to catch this horse. But for your purposes out there, cook up everything you got, one fish at a time. You can never have enough stamina. Alright, that should do me. Okay, we're going to warp back up to our Stasis Shrine once again. This time we're actually going to fly out a different direction. The land of the giant trees, or so I call it. So we are going to be going directly south of the Dead Man's Lake or whatever, River of the Dead. This is where we're heading, right down here to the giant trees. And once we get down here and touch down, we're actually going to save our game. Reason being is the game will randomly generate different types of horses. You might get a 5-spur, 4-speed horse, or a 3-spur, 3-speed horse. Bottom line, we only want the 3-spur, 5-speed horse. So we may not find one the first round here. So we always need to save the game, so make sure, folks, you save that game. Because if we get down there and we don't find the right horse, we're going to load that save point we just created, right there on the top, and we're going to try again. The game will automatically respawn horses with different capabilities. So we're going to do this as many times as it takes until we get that 3-spur, 5-star speed horse. Alright, so there's a couple different methods here. I like to climb a tree and fly down. Not only that, there's some sunshrooms out here that will come in handy for later on. So yeah, it's going to take a few minutes to climb this tree, but it's worth it. And we're also going to want to equip a burner bow or a long distance bow and our shock arrows. Not the most humane method, but it's very effective for horse catching. Also a couple of eggs. So go ahead and save the game again when you get to the top of your tree. That way you don't lose the ingredients you just collected. Okay, so we're going to fly. What I'm looking for is a gray horse or an all light brown horse. So I'm going to try the all light brown horse first. Shoot a shock arrow at him, give you time to get over there. Jump aboard, let the thrashing begin. Spam the soothe button, which is the L button. And before you run out of stamina, pause, eat more stamina. A full wheel at a time. And that one tamed awful fast. But I found it. Three spurs, that's a good indicator you have a speedster horse. And it should feel like you are going really fast on this bad boy. Once you get him tamed, and ride him a little bit, go ahead and start feeding him some apples. It should take about 10 apples in all. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of get right up in front of his snout here. Come on. Stop it. Wow. Would you stand still? Or you can just throw him on the ground, I guess. Finally, he stood still. Okay, so just go ahead and stand right in front of his snout. He'll eat the apples. And like I said, it's going to take about 10. And what we're looking for is for him to start like moving his head in an up and down motion. And that'll tell us that he's tamed. Okay, that's what we're looking for right there. So when he starts doing that with his head, that means your horse is now tamed. That's important because you want him to obey when you're riding him. So you can see the speed of this horse is absolutely ridiculous. So if your horse isn't going this fast, and he does have the 3 spurs, it might be a 3-star 3-speed horse. In that case, try again. You're looking for a gray horse, or an all-brown, light brown horse like what I'm riding now. And if you ride all the horses and you still don't find it, load back up that save spot you created and try again. Bottom line is you want a 5-star speedster horse in your game because it'll make travel time ridiculous and it'll just be an overall help to your game. Alright, while we're here, we're going to get a couple of croc seeds. There's going to be one hanging from one of these trees out here, and we're also looking for a material called a swift violet. We need those for our speed elixirs. And I'm looking for a husk hanging down. I'm not seeing it yet. Ah, I found it. Okay, so yellow rune will actually help to light that up. It's right there. Okay, and I'm not going to spend too much time out here with my horse, just because, like I said, we're kind of on a race against the clock to get to the rainforest before that first blood moon. So really all I'm here for right now is these swift violets. And I'm really only looking for 2, maybe 3 tops. Always get one final jump in before you completely run out of stamina. It just makes sense to do that because it gives you extra altitude out of what stamina you do have. So just make sure you're quick to pause the game and eat more stamina. As soon as you make that final jump, pause the game. Get that stamina eaten. That way you can continue on with your climb. And I will show you on the map where I'm at here. Okay, so I'm just south of the ice shrine now. And those swift violets were right about here on that cliff wall. Alrighty, so I'll see if I can find any more swift violets really close and readily available here. And you can either climb up and go get them, or you can just shoot them down with a bow and arrow. And I think to save time, I will do just that. And don't worry about your horse, he'll be right where you left him. If it's nighttime, word of caution. If it's nighttime and those bunny creatures pop up out of the ground, sometimes it'll scare the horse away and he'll go run off and you'll have to go find him. And it might take a while, so do be cautious dismounting your horse at nighttime for that reason. Okay, while we're making our journey, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be riding our horse down. And be careful, there's a Lionel right about here. And another one right about, I don't know, right about here somewhere. Big bad creatures. We're going to completely avoid those for now. But also what we're doing is we're going to be riding our horse up this, like, I don't know, ramp, whatever you want to call that. There's a shrine up here we're going to activate. We're not going to go in, we're just going to activate it. We'll come back to that one later. For right now, we're just trying to save some time. We're going to go up here for 2 reasons. 1, to activate that shrine. And 2, so we can avoid this first of the 2 Lionels. And in case you're having trouble navigating, there's also a plume of smoke. I don't know if you can see it on my camera, but there's a plume of smoke coming from that mountaintop. And that's where we're heading. That plume of smoke is coming from this cooking pot. This lady is burning food. This is basically just the game's way of telling you it's okay to experiment around with food. If you make dubious food, you make dubious food. Don't worry about it. It'll be okay. But you don't have to worry about that because I'm going to show you guys some really good, solid recipes for some really amazing meals. Alright, so back on our horse. This time we're not going to ride back down the way we came. We're going to stay to the right of that cylindrical pillar mountain thingy. I don't know what you want to call that. Tall thingy. It looks like the mountain out of that Alien movie. Close Encounters of the 20th Kind or whatever. Oh yeah, and if you do run over wolf, take the time to get off your horse and get the meat. Because especially if you get raw gourmet meat, you can sell those to the guy at the Outcast stable, which we haven't been to yet, for 100 rupees a pop. And you can sell up to 3 a day, Hyrule time, and you can do that the entire game. It's a really great source of cash flow. I don't recommend using that raw gourmet meat for any other purpose other than selling them to this guy named Trot for 100 rupees a pop. Okay, so there's the second Lionel. Like I said, it's a big bad beast looking thing, and I'll show you guys a really quick, easy way to kill those, but for now we're gonna just try to get to where we're going and prepare for that first blood moon. There's also a couple more Korok seeds in the area, but once again, trying to save time. Okay, so once you get down to this area where this big lake is, we're going to be riding our horse up on top of this little grass-covered plateau, I guess. The reason being is there's a lot of guys on horseback over there, and this just kind of avoids that trouble. And those guys are a-holes. They are deadly accurate with their bow and arrows. So this is just a good, quick, easy way around that trouble. Okay, right about here you can start working your way downhill. There's also a side quest, which we're going to do later. It's called The Hunt for the Giant Horse. And the guy you talk to for that is right here where that little campfire is. But for now, we're just going to bypass that. Okay, when you get to here, right where this path begins, or this road, or whatever, go ahead and get off your horse and look down. There's a treasure chest underwater down there with a gold rupee. 300 smackaroos. And there should also be some fish. These light-colored striped fish. They're called mighty prongy. Excellent, excellent cooking ingredient. That is going to be for attack power, and they are excellent for elixirs. In fact, most elixirs take 3 food ingredients plus the monster part and critter, but with mighty prongy, you only need 2. So the recipe would be 2 mighty prongy, 1 beetle, which is the bladed... I can't remember the names of these things. The bladed beetle, whatever that is. And then you can throw 2 monster parts in with that. And I use 2 grade A parts to get the time up on them. Pretty amazing stuff. So I'm going to run myself out of stamina on purpose, so I get myself back up topside here. Once again, when you do that, just make sure you don't only have 1 heart left, because then that'll kill you, and that'll be bad. So what we're going to do now is we're going to let the horse do the work, follow this road, and we're going to be coming to a fairy fountain. This one is going to be not a normal one. This is going to be the horse god. And I'm not really there for the horse god. I'm there for the treasure chest that's behind it. And that is going to be a saddle that you can put on your horse so that you can call your horse from anywhere. Normally you would have to be pretty close to your horse and then whistle and then it would come running. But if you're too far away from it, it won't come. It's too far. But with that saddle, which is right over here somewhere, I don't know, I'll just put a star like right here, because that's where we're heading. So when you come to this fork in the road, take a sharp right, and then once again we're going to let the horse follow the road, and we're going to go get that bad boy. This is only going to be there if you have the downloadable content, by the way. It came with DLC 2, I believe. There's also some cooking ingredients here that we need. Hot-footed frogs. So if you come across these bad boys, take a moment to collect them. Bombs usually work the best for frogging. And that's going to be another ingredient in our speed elixir. I would try to get at least 2 or 3 of them. These, yeah, don't really need them, but... Okay, so there's that treasure chest. Ancient saddle, baby. Heck yeah. Alright, I'm going to take another quick peek around for any more frogs. Okay, that'll get me going anyway. And we're going to climb this little bony cliff side wall looking stuff. Because we're looking for Endura carrots. Endura carrots are very scarce in this game. In fact, they usually only grow around Great Fairy Fountains. There's another... crap. There's another place they grow. It's a place called... I like to call Gold Rush Mountain. And they do grow wild there as well. But other than that, Great Fairy Fountains is it. Less talking, more climbing. I'm just gonna do a lot of jumping here to try to save time. I know you guys don't like watching me climb cliff walls here. Alright, so once you get up here to where it's grassy, you'll see 2 on one side, and then there will be 3 on the other. Now, why is this ingredient important? Oh yeah, I use my cooking pots, by the way, not to show that there's a cooking pot, but to show that there's a cooking ingredient that is noteworthy. So in this case, Endura carrots, very valuable ingredient. You cook 4 of those at a time to get, during a blood moon, up to 2 full extra stamina wheels. Can't beat it. Alright, so there's that. I think we're about out of here, folks. Get back on the horse, go the way we came. Just let the horse follow the road, do the work. Unfortunately, the horse doesn't sprint across bridges very well, so try to avoid using spurs while you're on the bridges. Okay, take a sharp right out of here now. We're back at that T intersection. And we're going to finish going down this roadway here to where that shrine is up ahead, and there's a stable. The first stable that we're going to come to in our walkthrough here. I think it's the... ah, crap, I can't remember the name of it. The Outskirt? No. Highland Stable. Booyah. Alright, folks, talk to the stable master. You can talk to him if you want, but I already know what to do here. Go ahead and register your horse. It's going to cost 20 rupees. And you saw that was a 5-star speedster horse. I don't know. I can't spell.